What's up, guys, and welcome to part two of this Q&A with me, Anders Antonsen. I don't know why it is that when you have to pronounce your name in English that you do it in a way that's actually not correct. So my name is Anders Antonsen. But for some reason when I have to say it while speaking English, I say Anders Antonsen. But that's not my name. Anders Antonsen. Welcome. I promised a part two of this Q&A, and I'm just going to go through the comment section of the part one to find the questions. Let's get into it. What do the players actually say to each other when the game ends and they come together for a handshake at the net? Someone suggests that we say well played. It's not way off. It could be just like, well played, congrats, good luck for tomorrow, or have a good trip home if you're super arrogant, or yeah. Obviously we don't have a lot of time, so it's short sentences like that. For the most part, wishing the other one good luck or whatever. What do you think is the biggest thing that separates the lower level tournament players from Super 100, International Series, from you and your level of play? I would say something that I believe has happened to men's single the last, the last couple of years is that the field of players is so crazy at the moment. There's so many good players, so a player from the top 60 to 80 could potentially beat a player in the top 10. It wouldn't surprise me a whole lot. There is just so much talent, so many good players at the moment. I feel that's different from 10 years, 15 years ago. What makes the difference? I guess it's about the mentality and the ability to be consistent, because on everyone's best days, everyone can challenge everyone, and that's all the way down to, let's say, top 80 in the world, perhaps. So it's something to do with the consistency, and I think the consistency comes with something about your mentality and maybe also something about your tactical awareness. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that's that. As an independent player, do you manage all the logistic yourself? Or do you have a manager assistant that helps you with that? I mean, things like booking of flights to tournaments, visa application, hotels, scheduling of training camps in different countries, booking physiotherapy, massage sessions, etc. Good question. So since I became independent, there's definitely a lot more on my plate. I don't have an assistant. I don't have anyone to help me out with all these sorts of things. And the reason why I just laughed midway through the sentence is that I actually went to the embassy just yesterday to do a visa application for Japan. We have a tournament in Japan just in a little while. So hotels, I book them myself. Flights, I book them myself. I also, for the most part, take care of the coaching staff. Coordinate with them, make sure that they get on the right flights, and obviously I have to book the physio appointments and massage sessions as well. So there's a lot on my plate. Sometimes it becomes a little bit stressful, but basically it is my own fault, I guess, because I've chosen to live the way I do, where I travel a lot, practice different places, and sometimes also set up my own training camps. So it comes with extra work, that's for sure. But yeah, I chose to do it this way. So the final against Joe, in the heat of the match, you were on the ground, he stared you down and raised his racket aggressively. What were your thoughts then? Yeah, so let me give some context to this moment. Joe had just been called a fault on a net kill, I'm pretty sure, one or two rallies before this incident, and I don't know, he seemed obviously super frustrated about the call. Um, and yeah, what were your thoughts then? When he did this, I was like, okay, he's frustrated, he's angry. This is a crucial moment in the match. Um, Sometimes when you see your opponent is in a mental state like this, it can go either way, and it can easily tip towards being too aggressive, too much, and not being able to handle the emotion. But sometimes it can also give that extra desire to win, because you feel that you have been, what do you say, not treated well, or miss something. What is the word I'm looking for? You feel like you've been robbed for a point, basically. So I think when you sense that your opponent is at that stage, he is like, it is a fine line between it being too much, and then it can, annoy the angry player even more, or sometimes it can boost them a little bit because it gives them that extra eagerness to win. So you need to be very, very aware at this stage of a match. And yeah, that was what I was thinking. Better be extra aware right now. Who would you regard as a more difficult opponent to play when you face them, Lindan or Lee Chongwei? So I played against Lindan and Lee Chongwei very late in their career. I played against Lindan once, which was actually here in Hong Kong, and I won in straight games. And I also played against Lee Chongwei once. That was in Antonsen, and I lost in straight games. So obviously, the most difficult match of those two matches was the one I lost. That makes sense, but it could have been fun to play against them a little earlier in their career. It's always this question about who is better, the best one from right now compared to Lindan in 2028. Sorry, in 28, 2008 maybe, in 2008. Yeah, and we'll never really get the answer, but it could be fun to like take the Olympic winner Victor from 2024 and let him face Lindan in 2008. Yeah, it could be interesting. My logic would say that the game should improve all the time, and a lot should happen within almost 20 years, but we don't know. What are your thoughts on BWF's 15-point game proposal? Honestly, I like the idea of 5 sets to 11. I'm not a big fan of 3 sets to 15. Obviously, sometimes matches can be a little bit too long, and if it's, on a semifinals day or a finals day, if it's just like 5 matches, which is 1.5 hours, it is too long also for the spectators, maybe also for the players. But I just saw a lot of matches recently where it was like 32 minutes, 35 minutes. Especially the doubles, the men's doubles, sometimes it can be super quick. So I'm just thinking like 3 sets to 15, it can be very, very short. So if you travel all the way from Europe to Asia or the other way, it would be quite annoying just to play 22 minutes and then you're done. So I'm actually not a big fan. Why sometimes you lose to easier opponents and play like Lindan in some matches against stronger opponents? This is back to what I talked about in one of the earlier questions, is that I don't feel like there's any easy matches. It might seem like there's a big favorite on paper, but I don't even if I played against a ranked 50 player in the world, I wouldn't consider myself as a big favorite. I know that the media would say that. I know that the people watching on television might say that. But if you really have a great insight to the level, the overall level at the moment, you would understand that minor things can determine the outcome of a match. And as mentioned before, on the greatest days, everyone can challenge everyone. And me personally, if I don't have my absolute best days, if I just drop a few percent, I can lose to absolutely everyone. So that's how I see it. I don't see any easier opponents in the tournaments that I'm playing. Is your brother your coach or just there for emotional support? Let's turn the camera around and ask Casper that. No, he's definitely my coach, but with that comes also emotional support. So I employed Casper at a time where I had to let go of my previous coach, and I had a few ideas of who I wanted to reach out to. It was Casper and it was Jan, and at the moment both of them is on my team. Jan is serving as a kind of like an assistant coach, and Casper is covering most of the calendar year when it comes to traveling and training blocks and stuff. But it's like a combination. I didn't hire you, Casper, to like revolutionize the way I play badminton, but it's an ongoing process of talking about matches, other players, what do I need to improve, what are they doing in order to try and beat me, and so it's like a constant conversation that we have. Yeah, emotional support as well, practical support. We talked about it earlier that I have a lot of my plate sometimes, practical stuff, and Casper can help with that as well. So a bit of everything. How many serious one-to-one practice matches do you play per month? Who is your favorite opponent for those in France or in Hong Kong? It's actually not a whole lot when we have practice weeks that I play like a full match. Oftentimes we play maybe one set and then change opponent, or we play shorter games to 11 or something like that. But I would say at least once a week I would have some kind of match practice, but it also depends on if I just played the week before and I went all the way to the final. I don't necessarily feel like I need to play a whole lot of games in my practice, so that would be a week where I would prioritize just regular exercises, focusing on defense, attack, whatever it might be. But depending on like these weeks, for instance, we have like 5 weeks in between tournaments, and there I would say it's important to get some match play once in a while during the weeks, so you don't forget it, because it is important, obviously. Are you intentionally annoying your opponent? Um, no, absolutely not. Or maybe once in a while, in a rare case, but no, I don't. I don't do anything really to annoy my opponents. I see these videos or these comments once in a while online, like people talking negatively about my if I'm like unsportsmanlike. I remember we did a podcast back in a few years ago as well, me and Hans Christian, where Jill Clark was quite annoyed with how I was behaving on court, and I feel like you can oftentimes, based on the like the comments, you can really tell how the commentators was commentating the match, because oftentimes if they are super positive about certain things, you can also kind of like see it in the comment sections, but if they were super negative towards you, it reflects the same negativity. So if Jill Clark was saying he's time wasting today or whatever, then you can really see like you can see it in the comment section. So sometimes people pick up too easily what's been told to them, I would say, but no, I don't do anything to annoy my opponent. Only if, I mean, I'm not an angel on court. If I get angry at the opponent or the umpire, something might go down, but no, not intentionally annoy my opponent. So it is kind of like a stigma that's been put on me, that I do weird things and stuff to, yeah, I don't know, bring my opponent to some emotional state, but it's not really true. Actually, I have a great idea for a video. Find like, guys, if you are like kind of like my biggest hater or whatever, or really feel like there are certain things I do in general on code that I shouldn't do, please write it in the comment section. Maybe we should have like a one-to-one conversation. That could be super fun, trying to figure it out. So if you have something, guys, that you want to argue with me about, write it in the comment section and I'll pick one of you out. So I guess that's it. Q&A part 2 here from the hostel or the hotel, or what do we call it, in Hong Kong, here for training camp, and we will do some content from here as well, obviously. See you guys.